We had Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and many other royals, including Queen Maxima and Queen Mary, attending various VE Day events in honor and commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. We had Princess Madeleine re entering the royal scene at a state visit, which I'm so excited about because she has been off for a while. We also have Queen Mary of Denmark showing off what seems to be maybe a new it bag from Maxima. And we do also have the cosplay royal herself, Meghan Markle, wearing a dress that looks like it's so tight she can't breathe so she can gyrate at a Beyonce concert. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Fashion News. My name is Brittany, and this is a channel for all those who have a passion for royal fashion. And this is the best and worst dress list where I get to share my choices for some of the best looks of the week and some of the worst looks of the week, ending with my vote for best and worst. Of course, this is all in good fun, all subject to your personal interpretation because that is fashion. But I like classic styles and I love what royals do. And there's such a breath of fresh air compared to the awfulness that was the Met Gala last week. So if you enjoy these type of videos, feel free to give a subscribe. And I also want to share that this shirt, I will be doing a whole video on this and probably more here in the future, is the Bowden linen shirt that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, wore recently on the Isle of Mull. So it just came last week. I am enjoying it. It is linen, so it does tend to wrinkle a bit, but it is a fabulous piece. And I have a dupe that I want to share with you guys as well. And so if you are interested, the Royal Fashion News Shop My will be linked in this video up above and down below. And all the fashion items that I can find that are similar in this video will be linked in the Shop My below as well. This is a chance for you to sort of shop in a royal's closet. Obviously, most of the items are very expensive. So if I find something that looks similar, but maybe a bit cheaper, I shall include that. So they are affiliate links, but it's just a fun way to sort of kind of bring all the royal fashion together as we look and enjoy it together. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys. So as it turns out, when I was looking through this list, I have a lot more of best looks than worst looks. So we shall begin with a look here from Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, looking at both of her looks, both for the VE Day parade and then the concert later in the week. And I put these two together because she looks somewhat similar, you could say, because both are very soft pink looks. The first is a Susanna gingham pink dress that she wore to the parade. And then she wore this really lovely, it looks like sort of pink suit. It's hard to tell, but with her coloring, it just really, really pops and looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, my only sort of thought about the gingham dress for the parade is that it felt a little bit out of place. I don't know why, but for me in that particular event, it didn't seem like quite the right color and setup. However, people did say, and I think there's some truth to this, that it worked really well for the tea that they had after the parade. So I can 100% see that. But when it comes to, I think, her look at the concert, I just really love this really soft pink look that she had. According to Unidentified No More, she was wearing a Theory Oak Lane trench coat. Maybe I can find that. And I just really love that color. I thought it looked really great on her. And so I do have to give this look definitely, or I guess these two looks together, because we're cheating a little bit because I have so many best looks on this list that it's quite insane. So I will have to, though, put this on the best dress list. All right, guys, next we have Queen Letizia of Spain, and she was at a book fair, which I sort of love. And I really feel like her outfit gives you very much that sort of bookish, familiar feel. And so she's wearing a gingham coat that she's had before that's by Myrto, which I haven't heard much of that brand before. I'm not really familiar with it. She has a handbag that she's using and a Cezanne shoes, which I think are actually super cute. So I love this sort of, I feel like it's sort of a bookish look. And for the event, I really appreciate it. I think the Mary Jane shoes are actually very cute, and I wouldn't mind having those myself. And she just has a belt from Hugo Boss and her Golden Roses earrings. And I just think there's something familiar and sort of comfortable about this look. And that's why I really like it. So I have to give this look a thumbs up. Is she breaking any ground? No. Is it like super duper exciting? No. But I think sometimes it all comes down to something that's just nice. It's just familiar. It's just appropriate for the event. She's not going over the top, but she's not totally let's say going down there in a jeans and a t-shirt and just being super casual. This is sort of what I love about royals, that even if it's sort of a casual event, they're still elevating it a smidge or not looking like the least put together person at that particular event. So our official first entry on the worst dress list is one where I actually like the dress. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, has this dress in 4 colors now. She has it in a coral, a white, and a yellow, or more like a cream and a yellow. And I think the color is gorgeous on her. My issue is the hat. The hat seems a little over the top for the event. So this hat to me is perfect for like a Buckingham Palace garden party, tripping the color, maybe Order of the Garter, something like that. But they're at a World War II remembrance service. And I think both Catherine and Camilla are kind of understated. And Sophie, to me, in comparison, seems very loud with this. And while I think the blue dress is very nice and perfect, I think she should have gone for a hat that has a bit more of a lower profile, because it just seems to be a lot for the occasion and in comparison to the other ladies. So for me, I had to put this on the worst dress list. And yes, I know maybe some people are like, but Brittany, she wanted to wear this hat. It's perfectly fine. It is. But I think one of the things that's very particular about royal women is that what they wear and when they wear it does matter. And I just think in this particular instance, I would have chosen a different hat, something that's a little subtler and not quite so loud and vibrant. But I am not immune from seeing this Jane Taylor hat again. And I do like the Beulah London dress that she has here. And I am now encouraged, because we have many royal women who own that same dress, that I do at some point need to get that dress for myself to do for a try-on video. So although I like the dress, the hat ruins the look for me. All right, guys, next we have Queen Camilla of the UK in this stunningly beautiful, I do have to say, red dress here from Fiona Claire, and she paired it with this gorgeous brooch, which belonged to Queen Elizabeth II, although the court jeweler says people speculate it maybe have belonged to the Countess of Strathmore, who was King Charles's great-grandmother on Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's side. So anyways, we don't quite know, but it is a stunning look. And then I really do like how when she did a first engagement at the National Portrait Gallery, she was sans coat. But when she went to do an event at the Tower of London to open up the new poppy field there in remembrance of the 80th anniversary of World War II, which will be available on display until November 11th, she added some gloves with some poppies on it. So I really feel like the black and the red was a fantastic color combination for this day. And I think the color looked great on her. Really made her pop, her complexion and everything. So I do have to give this very, very much a thumbs up. All right, guys, next we have a royal lady who oftentimes finds herself on the worst dress list, but today she is on the best dress list. And I have to say, I really love this look from Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden. And it's just a really, really simple look, but I think the color's really good. I think it's soft. I think her look, though, with the hair actually works together. So one of my sort of complaints you can say about Victoria is that she tends to have very severe hair all the time, and she really likes the flowy, florally looks, which I don't think pair well together. And so I really like this suit because the suit works with the hair, and you can see how when you have those two things together and they're working well together, it really, really does look really good on her. And so for me, I'm really, really loving this. I think she should go with this more often. I would also ask her to get rid of the booties. I'm not a fan of booties. I understand it's cold in Sweden, so I know why she does it. At the same time, they're not really a favorite of mine. So I really have to say, I really love this look. And I also have to give a thumbs up, very brief thumbs up, because I couldn't see it that well, and I don't know a ton about what she's wearing, but she wore this coat dress to the photo call for the beginning of the Icelandic state visit. She has some Gianvito Rossi pumps on in both looks and a Tim Marsdenson Fascinator headband piece. So she looked really good in both of these, and so I have to say I give it a thumbs up. All right, guys, I realize this next one is going to be controversial because it always seems to be, and that is Catherine, the Princess of Wales, at the Westminster Memorial Service, obviously for the end of World War II. So for me, my critiques is I don't mind each of these pieces individually, although I would have to say overall, I am not a fan of Alexander Reisch, who is the designer of Catherine's dress. It tends to lean very much into the 80s, and that's just not a fashion decade I particularly enjoy. So I am just gonna be honest, guys. It's just not my absolute favorite by any means. But for me, sort of what I don't totally like about this look is that I just feel like it's kind of odd in a way because she has a dress where, as far as we remember and can tell, although some people have said it's navy polka dots, she has a white dress with black polka dots paired with a black floral hat and then tan accessories. To me, this just seems a little bit clashing. It seems like maybe she was going to go with a different dress, maybe, or a different hat or something, and somehow something didn't work, and we ended up going up with this. I don't mind white and tan and black together. I think that can look good, but I just do feel like if she was going to go with this hat here, black accessories would have been better. And so I'm just very confused by this look. I think for me, I mean, I use best and worst because it's just easy to remember, but this is not like the worst. It's just like, I'm just confused. I'm just confused about the fashion here and some of the choices because Catherine's looks always come together very, very well. And so it's not that she looks bad, but I'm just feel as a observer rather confused. So that is my thought. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know I'm going to have some people who absolutely hate this assessment, but I have to be truthful here. And this is just my thought. I just thought this was sort of a weird offering. Doesn't look bad, but just seemed a little strange. All right, next we move on to Queen Mary of Denmark. And this entirely Maxima outfit sans the shoes. So this was kind of cute. She wore a suit that her daughter previously wore and added a new blazer on top of it. So it was Maxima before. She has a new Maxima linen blazer. And then what I thought was also sort of interesting is that apparently Maxima is really pushing their Whitney bags because Queen Mary has been wearing this bag twice recently. And I just saw an ad via Gwyneth Paltrow on Goop showing off this bag. And I'm like, they must really want this to be the bag from Maxima because I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm seeing this thing everywhere. Honestly, it reminds me of the Chloe Woody bag. So it's not that impressive, although it looks kind of nice. I tried to see if maybe there was a secondhand one somewhere. Didn't really see that because I don't want to pay the price for that. But I did think it was cool. I do like it. I love this suit combo. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And she definitely looks completely and utterly stunning in it. So guys, next we're moving on to the worst dress list again with Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden. Now, there is a part of me that thinks this is a beautiful dress, but I'm not totally a fan of the top design, how there's kind of a little collar that goes around this applique of flowers. I'm not a big fan of the color of the flowers, although I like these pictures we got from the Associated Press because you can see a lot of details in the gown that some of the Alamy pictures did not have. So overall, I mean, this is not a terrible gown. I, of course, love the aquamarine Kokoshnik. It's just not one of my favorites. It's not one of the dresses I'm like, yeah, love this one. And so I think for me this week, I'm going to have to put it on the worst dress list. All right, moving on to the best dress list. Again, we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales in this rewear self-portrait dress with some as seen before and unseen before accessories. Of course, most notably is the bow. So a lot of people have been talking about this black velvet bow. I do think it's really pretty. I'm not totally sure if it goes with everything, but overall, I really like self-portrait, and I think this dress is really, really beautiful. I think her addition of the pearls is really, really great. And so I do have to give this one a massive thumbs up. I think I have basically the sleeveless version of this dress, so I will have to share that with you guys sometime in the future. All right, next we have Queen Camilla. This is on the worst dress list at the first Buckingham Garden Party of the year. And I just have to say, I really do hate this dress. I think it's very, very matronly. And yes, I know she is an older woman, and she must have sort of a tricky figure because they kind of always leave her in boxy shapes. And what's surprising to me is that this is a Dior dress, and it's just not very impressive at all. I love the turquoise brooch. I think blue is a beautiful color on her, but I just think this dress is just really frumpy, in my opinion. And what's sort of interesting to note about this as well is I was listening to some photographers in Denmark, and they were talking about how when it comes to Camilla, because she doesn't have, you could say, as many fanciful looks as Queen Elizabeth did, because Queen Elizabeth, changed it up all the time with the colors and the hats and everything, that pictures of Camilla honestly don't sell that well. And I don't think it's necessarily all because of people don't like Camilla in some instances. I just think it's more that this is just blah. I think she could do better. I think she needs to figure out maybe something that maybe fits her better, but also as well, she's an older woman and she's like, I have my silhouette that I feel like works for me and I'm going to stick with it. And more power to her, I guess, but I'm just not a particular fan of this look. So next on the best dress list, we have Queen Mary of Denmark. And I'm saying Denmark because I think that's sort of how they originally pronounce it there. So when I look at this dress, I remember thinking to myself, I have seen this one before. It is a Soren LeSchmidt wrap dress, but this one is in dark blue. She has another one though in sort of a royal purple color that she wore to the coronation of King Charles with contrasting turquoise jewelry, which I actually loved. It was my top look, I think, at the coronation, to be quite honest. Except for obviously Catherine was different, but in terms of guests, Queen Mary was my favorite. And what I actually love about this look and what I find very funny, and which is why I'm going on this diatribe, is that one time we saw this dress and in a couple of pictures, it had shown up in this color, even though she was wearing the purple version. So I just find that very funny that somehow for whatever reason, it showed up one time in a picture as blue and even though it was purple, and now though we have it officially in blue. So she paired this outfit with some boots from Gianvito Rossi. She also had pumps at one point, so she kind of switched between the boots and the pumps because they went to a church service and then later went to a memorial location outside, and so she switched into the boots there. And she paired it with a Karen Cecilia Jobson headband, according to unidentified no more. So I have to say this look is stunning. I loved the royal purple look and I'm loving this dark blue one as well. And I'm just feel like it's very funny. I like when I first saw this look, I had to like double check and I'm like, it's not the purple one, right? Did she get it in a different color? Because I've seen the purple one. And one time in pictures, it was just like a couple of pictures for some reason it showed up completely in this color, even though the rest of the ones were in purple. Don't know how that happened, but still love it either way. So I have to put this one on the best dress list. All right, guys, next we have Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden on the worst dress list here for this red dress. Now, while red is not a bad color for her, this is actually a Victoria Beckham dress. What I really dislike about this is her very, very, very heavy gold accessories and her earrings and her necklace. I feel like this is very clashing to me. I don't really like it. I mean, Victoria is in such great shape, and I just think it's a shame that she doesn't have somebody help her like streamline her looks a little bit because I think all the ingredients are there, but I think she needs somebody with a defter fashion touch to give her the little bit of extra bit there. And I even miss that she has a big gold dangle over the sleeves of the dress. It feels just so heavy to me. I don't like it. I don't think it goes with the minimalism of the dress itself. And I don't like the earrings, don't like the bangle or the necklace or anything. So these are all from Edblad title, apparently. This is according to Unidentified No More. So I would definitely trash those pieces. I think they ruined the look. Guys, we are still in Sweden this time to talk about Crown Princess Victoria's sister, Princess Madeleine. And she has returned to Sweden after living in Florida for several years. And I'm just so excited because we have another royal lady dipping in to the Swedish vaults more consistently. And Madeleine did not disappoint. She rewore this angel Santage gown, but the most important thing she wore, of course, was the Edward VII ruby tiara, which hasn't been seen in about 5 or 6 years, and now it has been in the vault. And it was one previously only worn by Queen Sylvia. And so for Princess Madeleine to bust this out, like in her first state visit since returning, it was like, whoa, not expecting that at all. I love the pairing of the rubies with the pink dress. I think it's fabulous. She previously wore this dress to the Nobel several years ago, and I'm just so glad she's going to be attending more of the events. She is not a full-time working royal. She just comes and does things from time to time on her own dime. But again, so excited to see her. And she also wore a Giambattista Valli silk dress that she wore at one point to her daughter, Princess Adrian's christening, and her headpiece was previously worn to the christening of her son. So we have a nice little sort of callback by Madeleine. I identified her shoes at Gianvito Rossi, unidentified no more said they were Manolo Blahniks. It's always sort of hard to tell when you get one single picture. You can't totally tell sometimes. So either way, though, some designer shoes of a beige color were worn. But I think this dress is fantastic. I always really liked it for Princess Adrian's christening, and I was so glad to see it again. And then her headpiece, she must have been really thinking about her kids, because two of the pieces, the major fashion pieces, came from christenings. But what I'm most excited about is that we will see more of Madeleine's fashion in Sweden in the future. All right, guys, we are getting down to the final little bit, but the second to worst look of the week, I have to say, is Meghan Markle in this skin tight Carolina Herrera ruched denim dress. I think this dress would be horrifically awful to be at a concert in. It seems like a very, very odd choice. And it just seems really weird. She even linked it on her Shop My, even though it was like a past season and not available anymore. But overall, I just have to say, she looks sort of ridiculous in this dress. It looks skin tight and highly uncomfortable for the event. And it just looks a little bit ridiculous from what we could see. So I definitely have to put it on the worst dress list, the second worst of the worst dress list. And guys, I can't believe I almost forgot about this dress, but this is Catherine and Amelia Wickstead at the VE Day parade, in addition to the tea afterwards with World War II veterans. I have loved this coat dress. I think it's beautiful. I really like the hat that she's wearing with it. She paired it with her Celia Ralph Lauren pumps. And we have sort of an interesting shoe game from Catherine this year, where she's sort of consistently wearing one pair of shoes for like several engagements in a row, and then switching the pair and then doing that for a bit again. So right now it's been Celia, these Ralph Lauren pumps. She's worn them several times within the last couple of weeks. And so I just find that very funny. I'm just like, what is going on with the shoe game? But her hair looks gorgeous. The dress is stunning, and I've always really liked it. And so I think it was the perfect for the event, and she paired it with a ruby necklace we saw before when she was traveling to Poland, and then now she has a pair of ruby and diamond earrings to add to that as well. Okay, so for the worst look of the week, I'm sure you're wondering who it might be. And I have decided, for, I guess, reasons that it both just annoys me and it also did not match the theme of the concert. And that is Prince Harry in this Australian hat. I feel like this hat is Australian, and they are at Cowboy Carter, which is American Cowboy Harry, as if I don't think he necessarily knows. And so Megan wore this hat as well. And there is this picture of Harry where it's like, I look at it and go, oh, she must really despise him, because she posted this horrifically awful picture of him looking very, very sweaty in the hat. And we got this weird picture of the inside of the hat where it said Archie and Lily and my love, and it had imprinted the flag of the United States and the UK and California and the like a microscopic outline of the continent of Africa. Like, none of it makes a ton of sense, because it's a Cowboy Carter event. So this is the album Beyonce did, and he wasn't wearing a cowboy hat. It was like an Australian outback hat. And so I just thought it looked kind of dumb, to be quite honest. And so I do have to put this on the worst dress list of the week, because I was like, dude, the hat doing you no favors, Harry. Doing you absolutely no favors. And neither is your wife, to be quite honest. Okay, guys. So for the best look of the week, my choice goes to Queen Maxima of the Netherlands in this bright red, or I guess bright pink, depending on how you look at it, Gucci suit that she first debuted in 2013. She has a matching Valentino cape and some GMV Tarasi pumps in burgundy. And guys, I love this look. I love this look. She wore this as part of the celebrations of the liberation of the Netherlands. It's sort of a national liberation concert. They have sort of the Memorial Day on May 4th and then tend to have a concert the day after. And I just think this look is fantastic. I think it so pops with her. And that's something, guys, I really look to, is that if something looks good on one of the royal women, that is a huge factor in my like of it. And I think this outfit just really shines on Maxima. It really works with her. She has her Tutti Frutti bracelet on from Cartier, which I love. And it's just like one of those things where if you actually go to the Cartier exhibition, you can actually see some of the Tutti Frutti collection. That's literally what they call it. But I just think, especially her waving here with the big sleeves and everything, I just absolutely love it. I think the color is amazing. The pairing with the burgundy is a great, great touch. It has an elegantness to it. I feel like it's bright and cheery to celebrate the liberation. So I feel like it's such a perfect look, and it definitely, definitely is my favorite look of the week. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Let me know, did I choose wisely or poorly? Give me your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we shall talk again very soon. Bye.